What's up, guys? Welcome back to Studio 44 in our show Underdogs. Today, I got the man himself, Zach Cox, is in the house. So, Zach, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you having me over here today.
Man, I'm so excited to get to know you a little better.
I appreciate that,
Like,
man.
I've known you a while.
Yeah, we've never sat down and actually talked, I don't think.
Well, today is that day.
Oh, let's go.
So, where were you born?
I was born in Denver, Colorado in 1980.
So, back in the day.
Getting old, man. I'm getting old.
It was a Wednesday. That's all right. I'm 82. We're right there. So, God bless us.
Where were you born?
I was born third floor Monroe.
Here.
Literally here.
No way.
Yeah, third floor. That's
I did not know that.
It's where they used to do that. It's Advent now, but
That's phenomenal.
all right. So what was growing up like out there?
Man, I loved Colorado. My dad was a hard worker my whole childhood. He was a paramedic as young as I can remember. Wanted to become a lawyer, so he would go to law school during the day and was a paramedic on the night shift. So lots of early memories of him just working his butt off to provide for the fam. Was big into soccer when I was a kid. I'm big into skiing. My dad was on Olympic ski team. Grew up skiing. I have really fond memories of him taking us out of school, taking me out of school on Fridays and taking me up to like Loveland or Breckenridge to ski. And then, coming back on like Saturday or whatever it would. So, I loved living in Colorado. My whole family lived there. My aunts, my uncles. You won't believe this, but we moved when I was 10 to Florida because of the warm rain in Disneyland, Disney World.
The warm rain.
Yeah, you don't play in the rain in Colorado. It's cold.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And my parents were tired of it. They lived there their whole life, tired of living in the snow. They wanted a warm climate. They loved Disney World. When we moved to Florida, I went to Disney World every day for like 2 years.
Dang.
Straight.
Dang.
Yeah.
You can't do that in 2023.
No, dude.
Like you'd have to have an entire trust fund for that.
I have nightmares of going to Disney. My daughter's been to Disney one time. I'm trying to stay away as much as I can.
It's a good dad. It's a good dad, right?
Correct.
So, we take a Colorado trip every year, but we like to stay in Winter Park.
Yeah, Winter Park's an awesome ski resort.
We're going to take the train up there this year and just stay in Winter Park.
Love it.
You have everything at your disposal.
Are you going summer or are you going winter?
March-ish.
Okay, so do you like to ski?
I like to snowboard.
Okay.
Skiing almost took my life. Horrible story. I did my best.
Okay.
That's all I can say. Putting the boots on alone, maybe the most painful thing I've ever experienced. Once the boots were on and locked, and I do mean locked.
Oh, yeah.
God, they were so tight. Once I clicked into my skis, and I'm like, dude, I snowboard. If I can snowboard, I can ski.
Yeah.
That is a lie. That is a lie told from the highest mountains in Colorado. And I went up the lift one time.
Yep.
And as I got off the lift, I did the little keep it parallel thing, and they were like, okay, pizza.
Yeah, pizza pie, French fry.
Well, pizza crossed. Daniel went end over end, just getting off the lift. Let's just say it took maybe an hour to get down the mountain. It took a while. Like coming out of a ski, so you ski.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I only ski. You water ski, don't you? It's kind of the same.
So water skiing to me, like I can water ski and I can snowboard.
Yeah.
But as soon as wakeboard.
Yeah.
As soon as I put on the skis on the snow, there was no control.
There was nothing.
Not even a little.
So let me ask you a question. When you snowboarded, did you pick it up decently quick?
Decently quick, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it was a different learning curve, but if you know how to stop on a snowboard, it's so much. I say it's so much easier, but for my brother Scott skis like there's no tomorrow.
Yes.
He is from also third floor Monroe.
Yes.
He has no clue what skiing was, and we went out and he strapped on skis. I snapped on a snowboard, and that's just how the story ends.
Everybody I know has the same story you said about snowboarding, not about skiing. Everybody picks up skiing pretty easy. For me, snowboarding was one and done. Like your story, not doing it. I was bumped and bruises. I put on skis my first time. I was 2 years old with my dad. So,
oh my gosh!
Yeah. He taught me to ski.
That's how good your dad was.
Oh, dude.
Because 2 years old.
You ever see? Did you grow up on swim team? Do you know anybody that was on swim team?
I know people who
Okay.
were on swim team.
So when someone's on swim team and they're in the lake or they're somewhere and they're swimming, you can just tell that they like glide through the water. They might
Yeah.
not be the fastest, but they glide.
Yeah.
That's my dad on skis. Like you are on the mountain and you can see some people are good, some people are bad. And then you see some people, their skis are together and they just look like they're floating.
Yeah.
That's always been my dad.
So he's that guy.
He's that dude.
Okay. So I was an inline speed skater my whole life.
I did not know that.
So-
when did you stop doing that?
So I skated for Team Florida until I was 32. So just, I forgot how old I
I
was.
did not know that.
Yeah. Like
Okay.
10 years ago,
Okay.
I think. I think I'm 41. No, I'm 41. So 9 years ago.
How far did you go? I mean,
I went. I've won outdoor nationals.
Okay.
And I've won mostly a sprinter my entire life.
Yep.
I've won the Disney Marathon 3 times.
okay.
We skated a marathon distance in about an hour, like an hour 18,
I didn't
hour
know
20.
this thing. You're talking about, forgive me,
Yeah.
rollerblades.
Kind of.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Like rollerblades on steroids.
Yeah. That's
okay.
like calling skis. Never mind.
I understand. Rollerblades on steroids.
Metal frames,
Yeah.
110 millimeter wheels, carbon fiber boot.
I don't know if I've ever even seen that.
Definitely wearing spandex. This was
Phenomenal.
This is 9 years ago. So we're
Phenomenal.
9 years ago. We were in bed. I was in a little better shape.
All the ladies come running for that spandex.
Yeah, yeah. I was very single when I was competing. So skating through all 3 Disney parks, you would have loved this
Yeah.
as a kid.
Yeah.
Maybe not as an adult.
Yeah.
But skating through, like as you get into Kissimmee on all the highways, and
Yeah.
then skating on the boardwalk right around the Tower of Terror.
Very
We
cool.
competed racing through those sections. It was first thing in the morning, 1,500 people. And I won my age division 3 years in a row for that distance.
Wow.
So, and I was always a sprinter. I was never an outdoor skater.
What is it with Ocala and
So I skated with Joey and Brittany.
yeah?
I was on Team Florida when Joey was 9 years old.
What is it with Ocala and this?
It all goes back to our coach.
Yeah, okay.
And I know a lot of people give her credit, but I'm telling you, it's her. Coach Renee Hildebrand was
Unbelievable.
She took ice training
Yeah.
and put it on wheels.
Yeah.
So on the ice, you don't have the same resistance.
Did you train on ice?
I trained on ice for about a year and a half.
What's the difference?
Oh my gosh. The difference is you glide on ice.
Yeah.
I would feel like there was an unlimited amount of speed on ice.
Yeah.
The speed difference alone
Yeah.
was absolutely scary.
I bet.
We'll go downhill on wheels now and go 30, 32 miles an hour.
Okay.
On the ice, like you can do that just gliding along. No big deal. So way, way faster.
That's crazy.
So what always put me back though was work. When everybody else was able to go train and
Yeah.
everybody was able to do that, my dad was doing the best that he could.
Yep.
Trying to support 4 boys.
Of course.
Single dad working 14, 16 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
And so when it come time to train or go to work and try to help out,
You went to work.
we went to work.
Yeah, of course.
So,
I did
so
not
how
know
about you?
that.
Did you play sports?
I did, man. So I was a soccer in Colorado. Moved to Florida, and I hit my horizontal growth before I hit my vertical growth. So in Florida, if you're a fat kid and you can't really run in the summer, and for me, running and playing soccer I just wasn't able to do it anymore. So my mom threw me in the pool, and I was on swim team from about 7th grade, I think is when I started swimming. Hated every minute of it, but lost a ton of weight doing it. And in 9th grade, I looked over and I saw some people after swim practice playing this sport I'd never seen before. It's called water polo. You ever heard of that before?
Oh, that's vicious.
So started playing water polo, excelled at it, was a goalie, went out to Stanford water polo camp, traveled all over the country, won states our senior year of high school, earned a scholarship out to California, which is like the mecca of water polo, and went out there, was supposed to go to Santa Clara. Coach at Santa Clara got fired in between my senior year and freshman year of college, and all of his scholarship athletes got dropped. So I didn't apply to any other schools because I was going to go to Santa Clara. So I ended up going to a junior college in California. Didn't love it. Came back home after my first year. transferred to University of Florida and played on the club team and coached the women's team.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, water polo, like I have so much respect because I'll be out at the lake, like, and if you fall off your jet ski,
Yeah.
like I don't even like treading water for more than like 15 seconds.
Dude,
So-
we did ridiculous. I was a goalie and I would train goalies. We would do practices with 25-pound weight belt around our waist. We've done 12-hour treads. The amount of effort that goes into water polo is insane. I mean, it's insane.
See, as someone who does not know water polo whatsoever,
Yeah.
like I always thought maybe like you could touch the bottom and then kind of come back up for a little bit.
No, you can't touch the
You
bottom.
have to swim the whole time.
You have to swim the whole time. And not only, this is not the hard part. The barrier to entry with water polo is if you want to play basketball, you might not be the quickest guy, but you know how to walk and you know how to run. In water polo, you can't even play unless you're a real proficient swimmer. You got to be able to swim to both ends of the pool and then have the energy to actually play, right? So you have to be a swimmer first. On top of that, you've got guys that are trying to drown you and punch you and kick you and pull your suit and all of the other things on top of that. So it takes a great amount of endurance, but it also takes, you got to be ruthless.
Yeah.
And it's you know, you go out to California, you see some of these Olympic guys and they're football players in the water and they just glide through the water and they kick your ass.
See, what's interesting, like I thought you were going to tell me rugby. Because
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you have that, like I'll run over your
Yeah,
ass kind of mentality.
Yeah.
Like I see that.
Yeah.
So I could see how that would relate to water polo.
Oh, yeah.
Like I don't know. I did a triathlon one time,
Mm-hmm.
and we had to swim a quarter mile. I did the sprint because quarter mile out, quarter mile back, right?
Yep.
Quarter mile swim.
Yeah, which is not
12
bad.
mile. Yeah, for you. I almost died. Well, let's start with the beginning of the story. The gun
Yeah.
goes off.
Yeah.
The guy's wave goes first.
Yep.
Right. During the swim, every girl caught me because theirs is 3 minutes behind. I get out to the cone. You're definitely not allowed to touch the ground. They got canoers and kayakers or
Oh, yeah.
whatever, making sure you're not touching the ground.
Yep.
On the way back in, like I said, all the women caught me. I was safety swimming to get back to shore. I was cramping up.
What's a safety swim?
It's where you almost die on your side and your
It's like a dog paddle.
your arm. I'm gonna try to. You got like an arm up by your ear. It's really bad. You float and kick while you can.
It's phenomenal.
Okay,
That
yeah.
was good.
Never had to do that, obviously.
Didn't do that again though, right?
No, no, God no. Don't think I've swam that hard since. Get on the 12-mile bike. I caught every single woman back, and then you got to do the 5K run.
Yeah.
And I got passed by like 3 or 4
Okay.
women on the way back for that.
Okay. But you
mind
finished.
oh my God, I finished everything I start.
Okay, let's go.
Now, not the story of my youth,
Yeah.
but the story of my adult life
Yeah.
has been: if you start it, you finish it.
Love it.
No matter what it takes, even
Love it.
if you lose.
Love it.
Even at the end, if you lose, you finish.
Do you have any kids?
One daughter, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've met your daughter. My bad. You teach them that too from an early age?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She's wanted to try a lot of things. If she tries it, she finishes the season.
Love it.
Even if she hates the sport,
Yeah.
she finishes it.
Yeah.
And I've respected her for following it through, even on the times that she doesn't.
Love it.
So how about you?
Same, man. You know, I try to balance the having fun as a kid and the lessons that you want to teach, right? Like I'm trying to raise a killer. And so same thing. If you want to start something, I'm all about it. We're going to do anything you want to try, but you're going to finish.
Yeah.
There is no giving up. And you brought that to me. It resonated with me.
Yeah, that's good. It's like if you go to dance, you're gonna dance your ass off. Like I need you to dance like there's no tomorrow.
100%.
And if you don't like dance after, I know you're only 3, but if you're done, if you,
That's right.
So-
My wife is like, can't they just have fun? I'm like, yeah, winning's fun.
yeah,
Yeah, winning's fun.
it is fun.
And guess what? Losing's not.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I love losing though. I
Well,
really do.
There's lessons with it.
Yeah, for the longest time I hated losing, and then I was like, you know what? If I don't take some L's, I'm gonna think I just did it all right,
Yeah, correct.
and that's a dangerous slope right there.
Well, there's no growth. There's no. Let me go more than that. I think you're not pushing hard enough. You're not trying enough new things if you're not ever taking an L.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's so many sports that have divisions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did you ever play tennis?
I did actually in high school.
So I was a 3.5 max. Okay.
Yeah.
Which was decent for me.
Yeah.
I knew I had no desire to train of what it took to be a 4.0 player and above.
Mm-hmm.
And I also knew if I got on the court with some 2.5s, it's gonna dominate.
Yeah.
I'm gonna feel cool.
Yeah.
But did I really accomplish anything?
Correct.
So I started playing with my friend Maurice. He plays for the Jamaican Davis Cup team.
Oh, cool.
And my friend John Sperling and Juan, and they would dominate the matches. Like, they are so good
Yeah.
that I only got better because I had to learn how to compensate a 120 mile an hour serve at me.
Of course. There's something about being thrown in the deep end and having, you are the sum of your circle, right? So if you're only playing with 2.5s, you're probably not going to get a whole lot better. I think there's a safety net for people that they like being comfortable, being better. You know what I mean? It's the great ones that are okay being uncomfortable and surrounding themselves with people that are better.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's very good. So let's go after high school.
Yeah.
Okay. After college.
Mm-hmm.
What did life look like then? Where did life take you from there?
All right. So I graduated University of Florida in 2004. And my friends would laugh and say a lot of people go to college for 7 years. Yes, they do. Had a lot of fun in college.
Van Wilder did.
Yes, had a lot of fun in college. University of Florida was a good time. I got out of college in 2004. Like I said, that was the beginning of that real estate boom. So everybody that I was friends with was in real estate, realtors, mortgage guys, name it. And people were making lots of money back then. And I didn't want anything to do with it. I just didn't like real estate. I moved back from University of Florida with my parents. One of my best friends was a year older than me. He was in sales, and he's like, Zach, sales. You got to go into sales. I don't know what you need to sell, but you need to go into sales. And so for the next 4 months, I sent out resumes to lots of different places trying to figure out where I was going to land. And this company reached out to me and said, hey, a recruiter reached out to me and said, hey, have you ever heard of Paychecks? And I'm like, Paychecks? No, never heard of it. It sounds like Amscot. I'm not into check cashing schemes. I don't want to take advantage of people that can't get loans, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, no, it's payroll. You should give it a shot. And so I'm 24 years old. And I go through this process. And Paychecks is notorious for really long, interview sessions or a lot of steps to get hired. I ended up getting 8 interviews for this job. I'm 24 years old. 8 interviews. I make it to the last interview, and there's 3 senior managers that are in this interview. And at some point, a conversation gets brought up about the similarities between sports and business. And I'm 24 years old. I don't know anything about business. And I argue that there's no similarities between sports and business. It's totally different. There's the athletic component of it. You can't compare the two. And I don't know if you know this about me, but I can dig my heels in pretty well. I'm better at it now than I was. And after about 45 minutes of arguing with my 2 bosses and the guy who's going to be my boss's boss, he stops me for a second. He's like, Zach, you're giving us every reason not to hire you. Why can't you just give in and say, you know what, maybe there are some similarities? And I took a step back for a second. I took a deep breath, and I'm like, you know what, you're probably right. He's like, I'm so into, sports has been my life in college, but minus that, I've coached water polo and I did all these things. I just, I took a stance, and I just felt like I was in a corner with you guys. And they're like, you know what, that's the first thing that you've said that actually showed us that you might be able to get trained. They actually take some training. And they ended up hiring me. I don't know why, but they ended up hiring me. And, I ended up being at Paychex 16 years, 2,000 sales reps. I was in the top 10 every year, was top 3 of those 10 years. Was just a really good, and really it's why we started Workspace. It was a really good way to kind of hone my business skills and sales.
That's good. And I would always be on the opposite side of that. The only thing that I would take out of sports is that competitive nature.
Yes.
When it comes to sales.
Yes.
And I just had this conversation with Kevin. That competitive nature is what makes you thrive above the rest.
Correct.
You are going to go harder because you do not have quit in you.
Correct.
Even if someone says no and that particular person is out of the equation,
yes,
you're still going to go find 3 more people.
100%.
Every single time.
100%.
So So that leads me, and I know you went from doing paychecks.
Yeah.
This idea
Yeah.
of Workspace Collective.
Yeah.
Often imitated, never duplicated.
Say it like you mean it.
But this idea, where did that spark from?
Yeah,
and then talk about the levels that we're going to today.
Yeah, it's a great question, man. So I told you I was at Paychecks, and when you're in payroll, you're dealing with business owners on a daily basis. And the negative side of opening your business is 75% of them are out of business in the first 2 years, right? And so from a payroll consultant standpoint, I'm seeing all of these companies go out of business for 100 different reasons, and I wanted to do more to help. My sister had relocated to San Francisco. I was going out to San Francisco to see her. She works for a company called Salesforce. Salesforce has really, really cool work environments. And the building that they had built at the time, which was brand new, the very top floor of the building was a Google style cafe, basically open seating. You could see the views of the city, free coffee. They had baristas that were making everything that you wanted. There were snacks on the walls. There was beer, anything you needed to work and have an awesome experience was in this top floor. And I'm like, I've never seen anything like this before. I'm like, Florida could benefit from something like this. And that was it. Put it in the back of my mind, enjoyed the rest of my time. I came back to Florida. We were traveling for a Paychecks conference. I'm playing golf with Adam, which, all good ideas come on the golf course. Yeah, and Adam's like, hey, Zach, he's like, got this idea I want to run by you. Like, what are your thoughts on this? And he was about to purchase a building in Sanford, and he wanted to turn it into like an incubator style building where he could help business owners with sales and provide internet and maybe like a receptionist and offer them a better way to sort of get into the business world. And I literally to sit back and I'm like, man, I'm thinking about the exact same thing. I was just out in California. I got to tell you about this concept. That was in October of 18, January 1st of 19. We had formed our LLC, met with our wives, presented what we wanted to do, got there okay, got them on board, and we were off and running. We opened our first location in October of 19 up here.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great timing.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
So in the beginning of a business,
yeah,
ready to hit the growth spurt, you're filling up the building. I remember it's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
It is a neat working environment.
I appreciate that.
And then I'm not a big beer guy. If you had Moscow Mules on tap, maybe different.
We'd have people laying on the floor, but whatever.
Different license.
Yeah.
But the concept felt really, really cool. And being from Ocala,
yes, sir,
we knew we needed something like this.
Yes.
We just didn't know who was going to do it
and
how it was going to look like, how it would feel like. So what sparked making a second location in Ocala so quickly?
It's a great question. We didn't know what we didn't know, like whenever you start a business, right? We knew there was a need here. We didn't know how big of a building we needed. Like you mentioned, we opened in October of 19. We filled up in about 3 months. And we had to turn people away. People were looking for private offices. They wanted to get involved in the workspace. They wanted to have a desk or whatever. And we said no for probably 3 months and turned a lot of people away. And I looked over at Adam and Ashley and Cassandra and said, we need another space. Like we just cannot say no. And that was it, man. We started looking. Historically, co-working spaces are looking for anywhere from 7 to 14,000 square feet. Our first space is 3,000 square feet. Knowing what we know now, we wouldn't have opened something that small, right? But again, we don't know what we don't know. For those of you that don't know, our second location is 200 yards from our first location. We knew we wanted to be downtown. We just, wish in the hindsight we would have opened a bigger space to begin with. But it was scary, man. We were scared out of our mind. There's a big difference between working from somebody and starting your own business.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think your business model is always, it's going to fit those people that maybe they've never owned a business before. Mm-hmm. Or I love the fact that it adheres to people who may be traveling through.
Yes.
I know you've mentioned that you have multiple locations planned and in process.
Yes, sir.
And that one membership allows membership in multiple places.
Correct. We said that from the beginning, right? We made a list of what we wanted as benefits for our members before we opened our first one. And the idea, the goal for us is to get to 10, right? We want to get to 10 in 10 years. And the idea that somebody can have a membership in Ocala, but maybe they're traveling somewhere else in Florida and they just need to pop in to get some work done, they're not going to have to pay anything extra to do that. I think there's a huge benefit there. For us, our goal really is just to help people with introductions, help people get more successful, help people remove barriers to entry for people that are looking to start their own business, or to your point, if they travel a lot and they just need a comfortable place where they can get on a computer and get some work done. You know what I mean? We attract new businesses. We attract people that work from home. And you'd be surprised, lately, we're getting a lot more established businesses that are just tired of dealing with landlords, don't want to lock themselves down to a 3 to 5 year lease, because with us everything's month to month.
Yeah. And then also the people that are coming out of some of like our power plant incubator.
Yeah.
They're not ready for their own brick and mortar.
Correct.
Or they never want to have their own brick and mortar.
Correct.
They're able to utilize all of your services. Also at a level that most businesses don't even do for themselves. I've been in your meeting room.
Yes.
State of the art, high tech, everything. You've got every resource that someone would need.
Thank you.
So if you think about it, how many businesses have the extra 10K to throw in that one room?
Correct.
Minimum.
Correct.
So you're able to utilize that through membership base versus, and especially month to month membership base is so much smarter for the business person that's looking for that space, that's not ready to make the big leap to own brick and mortar. What I saw from the get-go, the first time that we walked that building, and thank you for letting me see it before it was done.
Of course.
I got to walk through and see raw concrete and saw what walls were going up, but this is what this office would feel like.
Yeah.
There is a flow to that room, the co-working space in the middle.
Yes, sir.
The fact that you see people at all times, the glass walls.
Yes.
Like you're exposed.
Yes.
It forces you to communicate. So when someone else is getting clicks and traffic coming through the building, there's potential customers for me too.
Correct.
There's customer, but let me say, only if I do my due diligence and build a relationship with the guy or the gal across the hall.
Correct.
I need to get to know them.
It is. You and I have lots of similarities, but one of the biggest things I think that we can align on is community focused and local focused. And the unintended benefit of having this building is the community that's built inside those walls. Routinely we'll see people strangers that are working next to each other that end up starting businesses together, or bouncing ideas off each other, or referring them to somebody that they got some business from, or whatever the case may be, that never would have met if they weren't inside those walls. And it's really, really cool to see the relationships that are built, and the success from business that's happening from people that have simply met each other inside our walls.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
I can't wait to see what the future holds there, because I'm sure there's other levels, and I'm sure you've learned a ton from just these first 2 locations. Where are your other locations that you can tell us about now? Yeah,
so we're opening in Daytona Beach in October. That's coming right down the pipe. We are super excited about it. It's a 2-story building. We'll have 27 private offices, plus the co-working, plus a lounge and everything else. Cannot be more excited. It's right on International Parkway, right where it dead ends into Beach Street. So you're right on the Intercoastal. It should be really, really, really cool. And then Sanford opens probably April, May of 24. We have that building as well. We're in the renovations there. That one will have a second floor and a rooftop where you'll be able to entertain guests, have parties. We'll do things like yoga there. And it's right on First Ave. Literally, you could throw a rock and hit every bar and restaurant that's there. Cannot wait.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So that puts you at 4.
4. That'll be 4 total. It'll be 4 since 2019, so 4 in 5 years.
Yep.
We'll open 2 more in 25. We're looking into cities now and trying to find the buildings that make the most sense. and then just keep pushing from there.
See, I've always looked at co-working space as well as finding places that I would want to travel to.
Yes, sir.
Because then it's going to give you a reason to go there. Like
Yes.
if this is needed in Boca,
Yes.
then put it in Boca.
Yeah.
You know, like give yourself a destination that you would actually want to spend some time in.
Yeah, so we want to be in. I'm never going to be in downtown Orlando. I'm never going to be in downtown Tampa or Jacksonville. Like I want to be, to your point, in these destination cities, markets like Ocala, like Sanford, places like Lakeland maybe, or Melbourne, or Mount Dora, DeLand. These are cities that we're looking at now.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, man.
That's exactly why Exotic Mobile Marketing does what it does as well.
Yes, sir.
Small town USA.
Often imitated,
Never duplicated.
That's right.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
That's right.
So I like to end my shows with a little bit of inspiration and motivation, because what I've learned from you in just this short period of time is the fact that competitive nature that you talk about, that digging your heels in and never quit attitude.
Yes, sir.
That's why you're reaching the levels of success you are reaching right now.
I appreciate that.
So what I want to hear from is, if you could say anything to a young entrepreneur that is even thinking about a workspace, trying to get out of the garage, get out of the house, and get into a space, what would you say to inspire or motivate those people to take that leap?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's easy. It's what we talked about. We're trying to teach our kids is don't ever give up. Right? It's so easy to look for reasons to quit, to not do something. Everybody that are going to hate the ideas that you come up with. Typically, people don't like. It makes them feel worse about themselves when you come up with an idea because they're not doing it, right? So when we opened Workspace, more people than not told us not to do it. Not going to work. It's not a good idea. And so you have to block out all of the naysayers, all of the haters, and just push forward and take that attitude that you're just not going to give up. And typically those people are successful. If it's not in the original idea that you have, along that path of not giving up, you're going to find something else that is your next idea that will be successful. And so you just got to continue to push, man.
That's so good.
Push.
I'm going to end it on that. That was good. I needed that today too. That is some motivation for a Tuesday.
Hey, let's go.
Zach, thank you so much for taking time to be on Underdogs and share just a little bit of your story today. For our viewers, thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe and share. And remember, love wins, period.
Let's go.